Hello there, it's your friend Phil, Project Management Trainer and Coach. I'm going to share with you very quickly some lessons learned from one of my students, KRISHNAN. KRISHNAN achieved the 5AT that many folks aspire towards. In fact, everyone should be aspiring towards 5ATs. KRISHNAN not only got 5ATs on the PMP, he also achieved 13 ATs on the CAPM before he took the PMP. See, some folks think the CAPM exam is a cakewalk and it shouldn't even be considered. But I want to encourage you, don't look at the CAPM as a cakewalk. It is quite an exam. And for him to have achieved 13 ATs in the CAPM, it's definitely a noteworthy accomplishment. So let's take a look at some of these notes that I made when KRISHNAN presented to us his lessons learned. First of all, read risk multiple times because risk cuts across all knowledge areas. So you want to keep moving back and forth between the knowledge areas where you see mention made of the risk register, the risk report, and so on. The same thing with cost. It is all encompassing of the other areas. Why? Because you use cost to address all those other areas. You have quality audits, it costs money. You have quality reviews, it costs money. You call people into a meeting, well, they're on company time, costs money. Procurements, money involved. What about other things such as risks? Well, it's also budget involved. You need budget to manage risks effectively. What about scheduling and what about change control? Same thing. You see how it all interweaves? It's very easy to get a question that attacks all of these knowledge areas all at once. You also need to know the difference between scope and requirements. When you talk about collect requirements, that is the very foundation that scope is built on. Requirements need to first be defined before you fully understand the scope. You need to segregate this mentally. Network diagrams and critical path, many folks fly over this. Do not do that. If you're having trouble with this, you want to go to pmsucceed.com right now and you want to take a look at options that I have available for you to get all this stuff under your belt. That's pmsucceed.com. The next tip here is you need to have a positive mental attitude. And you also need to have an attitude that you can solve problems. So one of my students, he says, Phil, there's no mother may I answers on the PMP exam. In other words, he was saying you don't need permission from your boss or from some stakeholder to solve a problem. That's the best thing that you can do. So even you're on the PMP exam and you get a question, you're a project manager on a project, this happened, that happened, what should you do next? And you have ask your boss, meet with your boss, hold a meeting, call all the stakeholders into a room, things like that. Those are not the best answers to choose. Okay? The best answer is one that solves the problem. You have an argument with a stakeholder about XYZ. What should you do? A, avoid. Use the avoid strategy. Or should you compromise? Or should you reconcile? Same thing. You see, you got to know all those little nooks and crannies of these descriptions. And then you've got collaborate. Of course you should. That is what solves the problem. All the questions, my friends, are geared towards you, the PM, solving problems in the real world. That's why everyone says, so situational. It's problem solving. That's the real world. No one's going to employ you if you cannot solve problems as a PM. So think about yourself as a PM solving problems on a day-to-day basis. That's the mindset that's going to help you. You want to try to solve rather than escalate, except the situation absolutely demands. It's your friend Phil here, just going through some key things to move you forward in your PMP prep. Do not forget, go to pmsucceed.com. That is the website you want to be at, because you will find vehicles and options that I have designed to move you forward to success. Bye for now.